Vince Curie, I'm giving a demonstration of the daisy stitch foot for rendering beautiful flowering, uh, artwork, and so forth. Here is nature, the first artist, creative. Everything is different, unique, distinctive. These are hens and chicks. They just grow and grow. Don't even have to feed them. They they will be out here in the winter with the snow, and they just grow and grow. There'll be the mother, the hen, and then all the chicks, all the offsprings. All of the larger ones are the hen, and all the offsprings. See, they grow through any little crack. They'll grow on the wall. They'll grow on rocks. This is a bonsai. This could be 40-year-old tree. Flowers of all types. The world's first artist. Be creative. Try the daisy stitch. Hi, this is Vince Curie. I'm in my recording studio, hobby shop combo, and I'm doing a short video on using the distinctive daisy foot, and I have my equipment set up right now, and hopefully I could demonstrate clearly some of the different things you could do with this handy tool, if you want to call it. It's actually a foot attachment. Okay, the first thing we want to do is you want to remove the existing foot that's on the machine, and you take the thumb wheel out using a short screwdriver, and put the foot to the side. Always remember where you put your components, and take the screw almost all the way out. And then one thing you want to do on this particular machine, you want to lower the dog, the feed dog. And the way I do it, one hand like this, one hand like this, and you're resting your palm in here, and just with your thumbs you push it forward. And then on the opposite side of the machine, carefully turn it. You have a lever on the bottom, and right now I have it in the back position, which is feed dog down, and you can see the feed dog drops. To put the feed dog back up for regular sewing, you push this the other way. You always check your manual, and then you turn the hand wheel towards you, and the feed dog will re-engage and come up. Alright, got that out of the way. Put this back. And try to keep your threads from getting caught. Okay, now let me get a little chair. Put the chair over here. It's a nice machine, this Janome 8077. Now you have an actuating mechanism here that drives the plastic wheel around and around. Alright, it goes one notch at a time. Has rubber on the bottom that holds the fabric, positions the fabric as this turns. See, that's the reason the the door goes down. This lever goes on top of the needle bar screw. So you hold it up and to see, you carefully bring the needle down a bit, but don't hit the tool. Hold up the actuating arm and slide onto the shaft, and then you could start turning this in by hand a little bit like this. Carefully tighten it. I'm really right-handed. Nice and slow. Don't push too hard, otherwise you'll wind up hurting your hands or damaging the machine. Alright, just jiggle it a little bit. Look with your eyes. Make sure it's secure and in place and seated. And just with 2 fingers, just give it snug. A little snugness. Okay? Alright, next thing is you want to put this under. This is now the pressure foot, so this goes underneath, and you could use any method you want. Tweezer, fingers, no fingers, and I just use a little ruler. Here's the ruler I use for measuring. Very handy. Millimeter and inch on the other side. Alright, now here, playing around, make sure we can see. Let me look at the through the viewfinder here. Okay. All right. Excuse me. I tried different configurations of the stitch pattern on this machine. I tried different ones, and I record the setting. Number is the number of the stitch. This is the zigzag width, and this is the dots are the stitch count. And I tried different configurations with different stitch styles. And the one that I found on this machine is the number 9 position, zigzag width 7. And the stitch length 1 gives me this. Stitch length 0.2, which is more stitches actually, gives me this. So I'm gonna go with this one here. Now here's an interesting one I did with number 30, stitch 30, and zigzag 7 and stitch count 1. And then what I tried to do is I tried to center the smaller diameter flower, and you know, roughly by eye, and it went to skew. It's off. I just tried different things. Okay, here is another type of stitch that you could do. Here is using dual needle. You could put a dual needle in here, and if I could find it, I lose things. All right, what I use, and I lost the needle too. What I use on this machine is the Schmidt's, just a brand, the Jeans Twin. It's a 4.0, which means 4mm point to point, and I put that in the machine the other night, and you have to set the zigzag to no more than 7mm in width, because you got 4mm point to point plus 3. Did I say 3? No more than plus 3 on the machine setting when you got a 4mm point to point needle is what I meant. Because you're going to zigzag in the throat plate, and now you're going to have 2 needles with 4 millimeter point to point, and a machine giving you a 7 millimeter. I'm sorry, I'm saying it wrong again. A 3 millimeter zigzag, so that will bring the needle close to the plate, which you don't want to do because your needle will break. All right, let me sew out a few things. I started on this fabric last night, and now I'm gonna do a few on this. I'll show you the setting I'm talking about on the machine over here. Turn your machine on, which helps. Turn the main power on. I have one of those strips. Back up. All right, so the machine defaults to a 0-1 stitch. All right, here on this machine. It's a very nice machine. And here's your 0-1, which is center needle, foot A. They're talking about. If it defaults to this, it defaults also. You see this little indicator button right there with the 3 little patterns on it. You got the pound number, which is the stitch number. That controls the viewing and setting of what it shows on it. Now the first thing is stitch number, and you can see the green LED up on the top indicating stitch. So now I call it line select. I'm gonna tap or hold this till I get 9, 0, 9. Okay. Now, as you're doing that, if you looked at the needle, I'm going to do it again. If you watch as I press buttons up here, you see the needle? The electronics is setting up the servos on the inside. So I go back to 09 over there. I go back to 09, and then you press the second button. I'm sorry, you press it a second time. The LED goes into the center. You're going to see a 5. All right, now I'm going to raise that 5 like I did on my example. The example over here. Yeah, I'm going to raise that to a 7 millimeter zigzag. I bring this up. Okay, 7 millimeter, and the stitch, I'm going to do a 2. So you 0.2. Okay, see? So I got that set up now. All right. And here's all the other things you can do with this machine. These are all buttonholes on the right, and you would put the R foot on. All these things, and then you go to the F foot down here, and then these are nice, these little star things. I did these the other day. I was given a demo. See the little stars, pretty. You could use that with the daisy wheel too. You could use that for like little ferns coming off the flowers. You know, like here, you look at flowers and how they grow different ways, and actually they reach for the sun. The flowers, they reach up towards the heavens, reach for the sun, and they furl out due to their weight and their travel toward the sun. So anyway, let me position this so I could get right on top. All right, the machine has one adjustment on it. Took a sip of my coffee. A lot of people they comment on my coffee cup, and it's a nice size, and it keeps it over an hour, nice and warm. You can microwave that cup. I grind my own beans. I like making my own stuff as much as possible. Hopefully the wife got that one. Yeah, that's the fax coming in. Okay. And now, like I said, there's one thumb wheel here, and this foot comes with instructions. Comes with instructions. Yeah, the thumb wheel is for the diameter of the flower, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this underneath. I've got my scissors, my tweezers on my right side, and so I showed you the way that I set the machine up. I'm going to put it on slow stitch. There's a lever on most machines, most new machines, where you can control the speed by moving the lever to the left. All right. Now you allow the fabric to be turned by the machine. Just going to bring it up a little bit in speed. I got my foot pedal right to the floor because I got the rheostat on the top. Speed control set. Now, what you could do at that point, you could clip the little thread, the starting thread. You carefully. All right, I clipped it. And I pulled it out. All right. Now that configuration I have on the machine, it gives you a nice flower stitch. Now you could, if you want, hold the back sew button and give it one little lock stitch on there. Now there is a smaller configuration, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set the machine. I'll loosen the thumb, and I'll put this to the center of the plus or minus increments that are embossed in. All right, so tighten the wheel, and that'll give you a smaller diameter flower. And you could play around with these, put one inside the other. You could clip that. You gotta be careful doing this. Okay. All right, you got two different sizes there. So now I'm going to do the smallest. You turn this all the way till it's on the minus line. Tighten this up. Put your pressure foot down. And then you could, right near it, you want to make like this. Just allow your fabric to turn. If you're using something large, you're going to have to manage it, as they say, to go around. So it would be best to slow. Alright, and then you could make another one over there. Now, if you monitor your children, you could allow them to do this if you're there with them, and they will really get a kick out of this, feeling in control of making something pretty. Okay, now I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move this over here like this, and then I'm gonna go back to the big flower, like this, and I'm gonna just put that right there. Now, the one thing about art, you could say this is art. You're creating, you're rendering. You have a tool. One tool, a couple of tools. One tool is the machine with its needle and its thread. The thread also is a medium. You could use different colors. You could do a double stitch if you back stitch. Okay, it's always good to do that. Here's just an example of some of the things you could use with the daisy foot, and then again you remove it the same way, loosen up the mounting, and you put back your foot. Don't forget the feed dog. Return the feed dog. Well, you'll know when you can't sew. You return the feed dog to its position, and then again you could try different configurations, and you see, you can group things like this, and you could also position these flowers right in the center, and then there's another one that I can show you right now real quick. I'll set the machine like I had mentioned. I'll set this to number 30. I go all the way to 30. Alright, that's 30. And what did I have? I had my numbers. 37 was the width, which I got, and 0.2, 0.1. 0.1 was the stitch count. Alright, so I got that set in the machine, and I got my foot down now. There you go. That gives a nice rendition to the daisy. Okay, and just an ending note. As you bring my camera, as you can see or seen, I have a lot of machines. It's a hobby. This is a very good embroidery machine, and here's some of the things you can do with an embroidery machine. That's velvet, and that is an embroidery. They call that photo stitch. That's done with the photo stitch brother software, and I like it. I find it unique, and I find it refreshing. I like art. After spending 48 and a half years in commercial and military aviation, I always come back to some form of art. All right, now here's where I buy my stuff. It's a family-owned business, which I like, and they're very personable, knowledgeable people. Mr. Vac is Joe, and Mrs. So is Lisa. Very nice people, and they are family people. And this is a machine I recommend. It's a entry-level, very capable machine. When I say entry-level, it doesn't mean someone who doesn't know how to sew like me. It means that this machine is a couple of steps up in a lot of ways. It's also a Janome, and this is the Memory Craft 6500. It is a professional, very capable machine, and this here is a professional. And when I say professional, I don't mean commercial. They're professional. This is a serger. It's made by Singer. It's a 5-thread, 3-needle. Now, all these machines, except the vintage Singer, this is a 1923, and 1940 is peeking its nose behind it, and 1957, these are not sold by Joe and Lisa. In fact, they weren't around. The 1941 I was around for. Okay, that's the end of the, if you wanted to call it a tutorial or a show and tell, whatever. Vince Arcuri, and I thank you for watching.